Monday's election saw 9 new people elected to Toronto Council, which many advocates welcomed. But what's also being celebrated is the increased diversity of the body itself, something they say is a step closer to reflecting the city's population as a whole.
I'm hopeful that these new progressive voices, these are our 5 progressive champions, will help light a fire and get City Council moving on the issues.
Sam and Tavasina Jad at Progress Toronto, a non-profit focused on helping social justice and politically progressive candidates get into office, looking back at the Toronto election campaign.
It's important to note that these candidates also have lived experiences, not only as Black and racialized individuals, but also as renters, as transit riders, and people who've experienced the precarity and the difficultness and affordability in the city.
This time around, more women and racialized individuals elected to council.
It changes the lived experiences that are represented around the table, and I think it's going to get us to better policy outcomes. That is the power of diversity. If we let it do its work, and I know all of us diverse candidates are ready to show up and do that.
Advocates hailing Amber Morley and her multi-year effort to become councillor in Etobicoke Lakeshore, knocking off longtime incumbent Mark Grimes.
For far too long, we've only had one person representing us in Toronto, the diversity of Toronto. And now we have 4, including a Black woman that we haven't had in such a long time.
Operation Black Vote Canada and Progress Toronto supported Morley in her journey to office. Velma Morgan says having Morley, along with Jamal Myers in Scarborough North and Chris Moyes in Toronto Centre, will mean better decisions affecting those in Black and racialized communities, as well as the city at large.
Hopefully, those lived experiences will translate into better policies for everybody, better accessibility for everybody.
In Spadina, Fort York, the historic election of Ozma Malik, Toronto's first Muslim councillor.
I'm so proud of the choices that Torontonians have made to make sure that we have more Black people, more racialized people, more women, and more relatively young people with different experiences and backgrounds coming to bear and making sure that our representation is richer, more courageous, and hopefully more effective.
Fatima Abdallah at the National Council Canadian Muslims, stressing the importance of having representation at all government levels, but also calling for everyone on council to do more to fight Islamophobia.
To see someone of the racialized minority at the seat, in government, at the local level is huge.
Looking ahead, Tavasina Jad says she hopes the changes made on Monday will carry forward at the end of the term.
The more, I think, communities on the ground are being engaged and see themselves in the city council process, the more likely that in 2026 we will have a higher voter engagement.
In Toronto, Nick Westall, City News.